Alright guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 10-game slate here, joined as always with Chris. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Trying to figure out some MLB stuff, but yeah, doing well. Excited for the slate here.
Preparing MLB optimizer or something else?
Yeah, preparing it.
Yeah, getting it ready. We have it. What time does it start tomorrow?
10, I think.
10 a.m. local time, Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll play that one. I'll have to get up for that one. Yeah, let's go through the success like we do, then get into your FanDuel and DraftKings results from yesterday. So first up, we have Nick over here. Changed his profile picture. Do you know who that is, Chris?
Sorry, I'm a little busy now, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's Bartolo Colon. Probably not though. It's probably looks like him, but it's probably some older guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we got some NHL action from him over here. 50, 115 on DK. Got Dakota here. Doubled up over there playing some NHL. 90 into 185. Aiden here with the single entry takedown in NHL, aka Chell. What did he do? $1 first place, $12. $1 first place again, $12. Love to see that. And then yeah, as always, every single slate possible, every single sport possible as well. So NBA, or no, this is college basketball, NHL single game, NHL after hours, and then NBA after hours. So solid stuff there. Let's open up yours. So this was it was a 4-game slate yesterday, small one, pretty chalky as well. I mean, there were a few super chalky plays, but let's go over what happened, Chris. First up on DK.
Yeah, so it was a pretty bad slate. It was pretty chalky in the first game. Had Tobias Harris. That game blew out. I mean, the score didn't blow out, but they pulled their starters. Didn't play in the fourth quarter, so yeah, Tobias Harris, my lowest owned guy there, 21%. Didn't end up playing much, so yeah, that was the big difference there. But it was a big train here. I like this lineup a lot, but yeah, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm gonna call out Ben Simmons again, Chris. What happened to him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got blown out.
I mean,
He didn't look too good.
Whose fault
Yeah.
is it? It's Ben Simmons. If you're a superstar, proclaimed superstar, you got to take that weight on your shoulders. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, he got blown out. That's why he didn't play." Like, there's a reason. Like, they shouldn't get blown out if he's a superstar. He should play.
Yeah, I don't think anyone calls him a superstar.
Okay, that's good. Still, a little overrated in my books.
Embiid is the superstar there.
Pardon?
Embiid is the superstar there, and he's missing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no, before, I think like a few years ago, people had higher expectations. I mean, he's still young. I don't know, like, it's probably just his shot, right? Like, the biggest thing. Only his shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's a good player. He needs Embiid there. He can't do it himself.
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you think he'll ever get a shot?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Hopefully. I hope so. Then he'd be like borderline, could be a superstar potential. But I'm calling him out. Not impressed with Simmons this year at all. Do you want to go over some other entries here, Chris, or go into DK or FanDuel?
I think most people had this team. But yeah, we can just scroll through the entire lobby, see if we can find anyone else. So we could start at the top.
Got Hoop.
Yeah, so Rozier here, Ayton. So yeah, obviously no Tobias Harris. Yeah, let's see, Charlotte. Yeah, no Tobias Harris. Who's the other guy missing? Do you know?
From yours, we can just put up the head-to-head. Where are you, though? I guess not. Should we open up yours again?
Yeah, sure.
Graham.
Yeah, Graham and Tobias Harris. He had Rozier and Ayton, so just a 2v2 there, but I like my side a lot. Just didn't work out.
Yep. What was the point difference here? 283 versus what'd you get?
262, I think, something like that.
Okay.
268.
Yeah. Let's go FanDuel then. See what happened here. Almost cashed, but probably like close. Did you almost break even there?
No, I mean, same. Like this was the obvious team. I think there was like 40 people with this team. So I mean, I'm 39th, but probably behind me, there's probably 5 teams there. So yeah, this one just didn't work out with Cody Martin, Ben Simmons, Dwight Howard, Tobias Harris. So all my low owned guys didn't do well. My high owned guys did well. So yeah, same sort of thing.
Yep. Do you want to go through some other guys as well?
Well, I mean, everyone landed on this lineup, but yeah, we can just scroll through the lobby here. Yeah, so here it begins, 277.3. Yeah, so it was just the obvious build by far. Only 4 teams were below it. So yeah, that's pretty bad, but it was the clear build yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the slate then. It's a bigger one today, so I like these ones more. What's your favorite news here today? We have Drummond debut for the Lakers, so that's exciting. Should be a good one there. I'm really excited for that. I was waiting for Drummond to be released for a while. Anything else, Chris, that you like here?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So we have the Raptors with no Lowry, so they're very interesting. We have Utah with no Donovan Mitchell, so we have a bunch of interest in them. I think those are my 2 favorite spots here today.
Gotcha. Do we have Brown missing for the Celtics still?
Brown?
Jaylen Brown?
Oh, injured? No, I don't think so. I think might have a tag on him, but I don't think he's out.
Okay. And then I think I saw we have Conley as well as a cover boy revenge game, but obviously no Mitchell as well, so it's like a double narrative there. We can get into some narratives at the end. Let's get into the first game, Trailblazers against the Pistons. I'm just used to seeing the Pistons play at the end of the slate. It's kind of crazy. They're the first game of the slate. Let's do Portland first. We got Zach Collins out for them. Little out for them. Projected starters, Saban Lee, Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee. Anybody on the Pistons that we like, Chris, or are we just staying away from this first game?
Yeah, I mean it's not something that interests me too much here. We saw a few guys have big games here last time out for the Pistons, specifically off the bench. Guys like Hamidou Diallo, Corey Joseph as well. We were talking about him. Jeremy Grant, he's like he hasn't been playing well at all, but he's very cheap in this matchup. I always like the matchup against. Wait, are we talking about the Blazers here?
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll talk about the Pistons first because that's who I'm talking about already.
No, wait, sorry. I messed up. I think I did the Portland injuries, then I went over the Pistons starters.
Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, so like I said, Pistons, the guys off the bench last time, they were the ones that did well. So I do like Hamidou Diallo a lot. 4.6 on DK, pretty good price tag there. FanDuel 5.8, I think that's just too expensive for me, but definitely on DK, I think he's a great play there. And then we have Jeremy Grant, like I was saying earlier. He's like 6.6 on FanDuel. Not as much in play anymore. Now we have Siakam with no Lowry. But he's still in a really good spot. I like him a lot here. Gonna go under-owned for sure. Hasn't been playing well at all. But I think this could be a game where he kind of breaks out again. So I like him. Yeah, that's probably pretty much it. Like Sadiq Bey, he's a decent option as well on FanDuel, 4.8K. But I like the upside that Diallo brings, so he's my favorite guy here, and specifically on DK.
Yeah, should I go over the Detroit side injuries quickly or nah?
Well, who do they have? I think they just have
Dennis
they have DSJ out.
Okafor, Magruder.
Yeah, so Magruder's out. Ellington's doubtful. Smith is out as well. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so Blazers side, I already did that. Just Zach Collins and Little. Projected starters: Lillard, McCollum, Powell, Covington, and Nurkic. What's going on with the Nurkic Cantor situation, Chris?
Um, yeah, so Nurkic is coming back from an injury. Minutes are still limited. That's pretty much it there. I don't think you can play him. Maybe on FanDuel 5K, but we need to hear word that they're going to play him more minutes. But I don't love the Blazers here. Just think we have much better matchups in other games. This is one of the lowest over-unders on the slate. Has a pretty big spread at 7.5, so I don't love the Blazers side here.
Okay, let's go into the next game. Miami, Indiana. Didn't load it up. Give me a sec. Miami side, we got Haslam out, Okpala out, Gabe Vincent probable, Kendrick Nunn questionable, Victor Oladipo out for them. Projected starters: Kendrick Nunn, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Trevor Ariza, and Bam Adebayo. Anybody on the Heat that we like, Chris?
No, not really. I don't like this game much. Tight spread. That's pretty much the only thing it has going for it. Bam had a huge game last time out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want to play anyone here.
Okay, let's go over Indiana quickly. Jeremy Lamb questionable, McDermott questionable, Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Justin Holiday, DeMontis Sabonis, and Miles Turner all projected to start. Anybody here at all?
Same sort of thing. Not really. Like Sabonis, you can play him. He's always viable in tournaments. We know the upside he has, but I don't love it too much. Don't love the matchup. Obviously, they had this matchup in the playoffs last year, so there's that. If you want to go after that narrative, but I just don't think there's any reason to play these guys on this giant slate.
Okay, let's go into the next game. We have the Houston Rockets against the Brooklyn Nets. Houston side, we have John Wall questionable, tag Dante Exum is out, Christian Wood probable, and Danwell House also probable. Projected starters: John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., Danwell House, Jay Sean Tate, and Christian Wood. This Wall questionable tag, Chris, is that an important one for today's slate, or not really with all the other options we have?
Yeah, it's very important. If he's out, Kevin Porter Jr. will become probably a lock. We've seen the big games he's had in the past when John Wall and Oladipo have missed games. Oladipo's traded now. So if John Wall misses this game, Kevin Porter will become a great play. 5-5 on FanDuel, 6K on DK, so his price has been decreased. He was around 7K for the last few games. Now he's around 6K on both sites, so he'll become a really good play. Christian Wood, I like him a lot here as well. I always like the matchup against Brooklyn, as I always say. This is the highest over-under on the game, on the slate. I mean, even though the Rockets aren't implied to score too much, most of the scoring is projected to come from the other side, but I still think the Rockets can keep it close enough here to play their full minutes. So I do like Wall if he ends up playing. If he's out, I like Porter a lot, and I do like Wood a lot as well in tournaments.
Okay. Roll King's asking, whatever happened to Haslam?
He's old.
What's his role on Miami? Is he just like a vet presence? Is he
like sort of a coach, player coach sort of thing.
Does he have like a minimum salary?
I'm not sure. I think they sign him for 1-year deals. Just give him whatever they have left.
Got it. Okay, so Brooklyn side, we have Kevin Durant out, LMA, new piece there. He's out though. Shamit, questionable tag, and then how do you say this? Elijah Johnson. He is second 10-day contract over there for Brooklyn. Projected starters: Harden, Kyrie Irving, Bruce Brown, Joe Harris, and DeAndre Jordan. Anybody on the Nets, Chris?
Yeah, it's just one guy, James Harden. We get the game against Houston again. We get the highest over-under on this, or sorry, not the highest over-under, the highest team total on the slate for the Brooklyn Nets at 122. So I love playing Harden on both sides. I think he's pretty much a lock for me as a spend up. We have really good value plays with the Jazz guys. So we can easily fit Harden in. 11-5 on FanDuel, 10-9 on DK. So he's my favorite guy here. Kyrie, you can play him alongside Harden, but I don't love doing that. I prefer the safety with James Harden.
Okay. Let me load up the next game. Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics. Let's go over Dallas first. We got JJ Redick out for them. Tyrell Terry out. Willie Cauley-Stein out. Projected starters: Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Kristaps Porzingis. Anybody here, Chris? I know a lot of guys hate playing Kleber, but I don't think we need to get him in today. Big slate, lots of options. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Mavs?
Yeah, so another spot that I'm not too interested in. I think they're decent last pieces here. Luka's always viable as a spend up, but he hasn't been playing great recently. They've been in a few blowouts, so he's only been around 27 minutes. I think he's a really good tournament option here, but like I was saying with the last game, Harden is my spend up in cash games, so probably can't afford Luka. So I'm not going to play him. And then some of these guys on the wing, I think, are decent options, like Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Richardson. If you land there as the last piece, Dorian Finney-Smith is still 3.8 on FanDuel. I don't want to talk about him too much. Like, I don't love that as a play, but I think as a last piece, you're probably going to land in that range on FanDuel. So I don't mind playing him. There's probably a 1v1 between him and Justin Holiday. Kind of prefer Justin Holiday on the Pacers. Just feel a little safer with his minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the Mavs. Probably tournament only for Luka. And then if you land on one of these wings as the last piece, that's fine as well.
Okay. Boston side, we have Semi Ojeleye out for them. Tristan Thompson out as well. Jaylen Brown, questionable tag, and Langford as well. Projected starters: Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams. Any interest there, Chris? I know we had some interest in Robert Williams. Thompson's still out there. Has a bigger role lately with all the moves they've made. Is he still interesting today?
Yeah, I think he's probably my favorite center on FanDuel for 6.3K. This guy is ridiculous with blocks and steals. Like he gets like 5 a game. And now he's starting. Now he's getting the minutes with Tristan Thompson out. So I like the matchup here. I like the price tag a lot. So I love Robert Williams. He's my favorite Celtic. We have to watch for the Jaylen Brown news. He's questionable. If he ends up being ruled out again, we can play Tatum once again, like we did last time. He had the monster game. But for now, with Jaylen Brown questionable, I probably expect him to play. Robert Williams is going to be the only guy here for me.
Okay. What's the secret to the blocks and steals, Chris, for Robert Williams? How does he do it?
I don't know, just very active, very long, good instincts, I guess.
It sounds a lot like Drummond. Those are like Drummond numbers that I see. We'll get into that later, though, because I know he was in play earlier in the optimizer. Hopefully still is and will be at the end when the slate starts. Next game up, we have the Toronto Raptors against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's go over Toronto first. Pat McCaw out, Kyle Lowry out, Bembry, Jalen Harris, Paul Watson all out. Projected starters: Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Baines. Just got confirmation, Chris. Jaylen Brown is in, and then Langford is out.
Who?
Jaylen Brown in for Boston, and then Langford is out.
Who's the second guy?
Romeo Langford.
I don't know. Just kidding. I know him, but he sucks.
You've never played him before in DFS?
Romeo Langford? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. But yeah, Brown is in, so that's important.
Yeah, Brown in. We were just talking about it. Doesn't change anything. Don't really have interest in the other guys other than Robert Williams then.
Yep. Toronto, Chris, who do you like there? No Lowry, so that's a big one there.
Yeah, so Toronto's one of my favorite teams to target here. Without Lowry, we have some really good price tags on both sites. So I'll start with OG Anunoby. He's been playing very well. 6.3 on DK. I think he's 6.6 on FanDuel. Been playing a ton of minutes. Been consistent with his production. So I like him a lot in cash games. I think he makes for a really good play. My favorite guy here is going to be Fred VanVleet. I think he gets the biggest bump with Lowry out. 7-7 on DK, 7-4 on FanDuel. So once again, that FanDuel price is just way too cheap. DraftKings price as well. I think that's very interesting there. So I like him a lot. He's probably my favorite Raptor. Maybe my second favorite Raptor after Pascal Siakam, I guess, who's 8-3 on FanDuel. 7-7 on DK. He also gets a bigger role here. We've seen him have the giant games recently, so I like him a lot. Matchup here isn't great, but I think the game environment with Kyle Lowry out makes these guys very interesting. They're going to play a ton of minutes, so I'm all over these main three guys for the Raptors. If you want to play someone else like Chris Boucher, you could do that as well. He's probably the fourth Raptor, probably the only other Raptor I would include. He's 4.9, I think, on FanDuel. DK, a little bit more expensive at 5K. So I think he's a decent option, more of a tournament option. If I'm playing cash games, I'm probably going to stick to the other three guys that I mentioned.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lock in Boucher for tournaments today. Love the price tag, love the upside. What is he on DK? Yeah, I'd probably lock him in on both sides myself. Maybe not lock in. You say not to lock players in, but I'm going to lock him in. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Rondo says, how about them Clippers? Clear favorites to win it all this year with Rondo and now plan to sign Boogie. What do you think of
that? Clippers? No, I don't know. I like the Rondo pickup. Don't love the Boogie pickup, but yeah, I mean, maybe John Wall will get bought out for whatever reason. He can go to the Clippers. I think he would be a good fit there, but for now, I like the Rondo pickup. I don't like the Boogie pickup much, though.
Yeah. He's laughing at my love for Drummond. Rondo says Romeo Chipotle Langford, Chris. He's the one, he got rooked, but I think Smart had to pay for all the Chipotle.
Yeah, I remember that, but he hasn't played all season.
Yeah. Rondo doesn't like your take, Chris, on the Clippers there. We got OKC side. We got Mike Muscala. He's out. Alexei Pokusevski out. Darius Baisley out. Luguentz Dort out. And Ty Jerome is questionable. Projected starters Theo Maledon, Svi Mihailuk, Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Roby, and Moses Brown. Yeah, I mean, interesting team here, Chris. Moses Brown 7-1 on DK, 6-7 on FanDuel. We've seen him get like 40, 50 before. Lots of guys out. Is he an interesting play? Doesn't seem like the best cash play, but yeah, what are your thoughts on Moses?
Yeah, so he's their main guy now, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't mind him here. I think we have other centers that I kind of prefer a little more. Like OG is listed as a center on DK, so I like playing him there. And then on FanDuel, we have Robert Williams for 6'3". We have Drummond for 5'2", I think. So I'd rather go there. So I'm not really on him too much. I think I'm more interested in someone like Isaiah Roby. He had the big game last time out, played 34 minutes, 37 fantasy points. Ended up with 5 stocks, I think, so that's probably not sustainable. But I do like how the minutes went up to 34. So I like Roby a lot. He's probably my favorite Thunder guy here today on this slate, especially on FanDuel where he's 5K now. So yeah, I like him a lot there on FanDuel, and then on DK as well. I think he's very interesting for 5.4K. And then some other pieces here. I think you can probably go dumpster diving for guys like Svi Mihailuk on DraftKings, 4.2K. Obviously, they're missing SGA now. Svi got the start last time out. Bunch of other guys missing: Pokusevski, Dort, Baisley, obviously Horford. So there's room for some of these guys. Probably some guys most people have never heard of. So I like Svi. I also like Josh Hall. He's been playing around 20 minutes recently. No Pokusevski today, so I think his minutes will go up a little more. So on DraftKings for 3.1K, I think he's a decent option there as well. And then last guy I'll mention, Kenrich Williams. I think he's pretty safe here as well. I expect his minutes to go up with Pokusevski out. So yeah, a bunch of these guys are interesting on the Thunder side. I wouldn't be surprised if at least one or two of these Thunder guys will end up in the optimal team at the end of the night.
Yeah, just looking at Moses, one more thing to touch on. Got his ceiling here is 50. I think we've seen him around there recently. I know you can only play one center on FanDuel, but what do you think of Moses as like a center tournament play if he ends up with 50? Is that enough to get you there? Or do you think there's just way better center plays today?
No, I think he's a really good play. We've seen the upside with him. Just like on FanDuel, I don't think you need it. Like I said, we have Robert Williams for cheaper. We have Drummond for cheaper. But I think in tournaments, he's a really solid option. We've seen the upside he has. They're very thin. Toronto's not great defensively, so I could definitely see him going for like 50, 55 here. So yeah, I like him in tournaments a lot.
Yep. Okay, let's go over the next game. We have Utah Jazz against the Memphis Grizzlies. Utah side, big news there. Donovan Mitchell out for them. Then we have Juwan Morgan out for them as well. Projected starters, cover boy Mike Conley today, Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. Anybody here, Chris?
So yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of interest in these Jazz on both sides. So Donovan Mitchell's out with personal reasons. We have a decent matchup here against the Grizzlies. The over/under here is 225, so I think it's the third highest on the slate right now. So it is a good matchup. I always love targeting the Jazz guys when someone misses a game. We have Jordan Clarkson for 5K on FanDuel. DraftKings, he is 5.5. So he's going to be a lock for me on both sites. Just a really easy play. I think he's probably a free square. I think everyone's going to land on him. Same thing with Mike Conley, 5.8 on DK, 6K on FanDuel. I think you got to play these guys if you're playing cash games. Maybe if you're playing tournaments, you could pivot to someone like Joe Ingles instead and hope he has the big game instead of one of these other guards. So yeah, I like Joe Ingles a lot in tournaments, even in cash games. If you land there, no problems with that. Maybe you can even play Conley, Clarkson, and Ingles all together in a cash game. I don't think I mind that. And then outside of those guys, like a bunch of these other guys are viable. Like Bogey, he's right there for 4.5K on FanDuel, I think. DraftKings, he's 4.8. I think he's viable there as well. Royce O'Neal, 4.2 on DK. That's an interesting price tag as well. So if you line on any of these other guys, I have no problems with it as last pieces, but my focus is mainly going to be on the guards that benefit from Mitchell being out.
Could we see a bogey ceiling game today, Chris? 50 burger? He got one earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, he has the upside. No Mitchell, who's the main shooter there, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of these random guys go for a ceiling game, but I think it's most likely going to be Conley or Clarkson, so I think they're the safest ones.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. Memphis side, we have Justice Winslow out for them, Grayson Allen, questionable. Projected starters, John Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of inconsistency from John Morant, Chris. Is this his second year or third year?
Second year.
Second year. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. Not like Simmons. No excuse for Simmons, but seems like a guy who you can find, like his price goes up and down quite a bit. So it seems like when he's low, it's a good time to buy. But today, price and matchup probably not the best for him. But you usually mention him for tournaments. But I don't know. What do you think of Ja today in tournaments?
Yeah, so first of all, I think that projection is just way too low for him. I would bump that up if I were building, but yeah, I like Ja a lot here. I think he's a very, very strong play. 6.8 on FanDuel. We haven't seen him this cheap all season long, so I do like him a lot. I'm not going to land there in cash games, obviously, but I think in tournaments, we know the upside he has, so he's probably going to be the only guy I like here from the Memphis side just because he has the upside. But yeah, I mean, if he's on, like, he can go for 60 fantasy points. I think he did it at the start of the year a few times. So yeah, he's the main guy for me.
Okay, let's jump into the next one. We have the Knicks against the Timberwolves. Knicks side, we got Derrick Rose, questionable. And then the projected starters, we have Alfred Payton, RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. So Noel's probably going to be their starter for the rest of the season, main center there. Anyone on the Knicks that we like today, Chris?
No, I don't think there's anyone here. Like it's not a bad matchup obviously against Minnesota. It's one of our favorites, but I just think on this slate where we have these Raptors, we have these Jazz guys who are gonna be the main pieces of our lineups. Also the Thunder. In cash games, we've probably gone over everyone that I have interest in, but I mean, yeah, in tournaments you could always play Randall. It's a good matchup here, like I was saying. So he's probably the only guy I'm interested in. Maybe Nerlens Noel as well. But the problem is he's a center. We have a ton of good centers here on this slate. So I like Randall a lot in tournaments. He's probably the guy for me.
Okay. Minnesota, we have Josh Kogi, questionable tag, D'Lo out for them still. Rubio, Malik Beasley, Ant-Man, Catman, and Jalen McDaniels all projected to start. Anybody on the Timberwolves for tournaments, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, like they're always tournament viable here. Like Cat, Ant-Man, Beasley, even 5-6 on FanDuel. If I had to pick one, I would say Cat. Obviously, he's from the New York area, but this game's in Minnesota. But still, I like Cat a lot. He's going to be the favorite for me, but I'm probably not going to land on anyone here.
Okay, let's load up the next game. Flying through the slate, Chris. We have the Sacramento Kings against the Spurs. Sacramento side, Jamias Ramsey, questionable tag. Hassan Whiteside, questionable tag. These guys just played each other last game out, right?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah. Projected starters for Sacramento, we have Fox, Halliburton, Heald, Barnes, and Holmes. Anybody there that we're interested in? Seems like a kind of a low projection for Fox here, 38.
Yeah, I mean, I think that might be off as well. Let's see here. So De'Aaron Fox, yeah, but I mean he's 10K here. That's a crazy price tag, but yeah, this projection might be off. So I'll check that out. But I'm not too interested here in this team. I think they're really interesting in tournaments. But for me in cash games, I don't think I need to land here. Fox is very expensive, so it's hard to play him. But he's been playing out of his mind, so he's a good play in that sense. But I probably can't do it in cash games for sure. And then in tournaments, he's a decent option there. And then it's probably the only guy.
Okay, let's do the Spurs. So we have Trey Lyles, Lonnie Walker, Keita Bates, Diop, all out. Gorgie Jeng, probable. You love that guy. Projected starters, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Feels like with DeMar DeRozan, every time I have him, he doesn't have a good game. And then every time I don't want him to have a good game, he has a great game. Just seems like one of those guys in fantasy. Has pretty good upside any given night, like 50, 55 range. Not saying it's a great game environment. Well, actually, it is the Kings. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think of DeMarcus in tournaments at this price tag?
Yeah, I mean, I never played DeMar, so I can't do it. I'm not a fan of playing DeMar. He had the same matchup last time. What did he go for? He went for 31. Like he goes for he has big games in random matchups. Like I don't think the matchup really matters for him. We see him go for like 50 against Milwaukee, other pretty good defensive teams. Then we see him go for low games against good matchups. But yeah, I don't love playing DeMar here. I think he's just I don't know. I'm not a fan, so I don't want to say too much on him.
You don't like his game?
No, I don't like his game for DFS. I think he's a little inconsistent, but yeah, that's I don't know. It's a good matchup here. Like if you land on any of the Spurs here, I'm fine with it. DeJounte Murray here, I like him as well. Jakob Poeltl, Keldon Johnson, any of these guys are viable as last pieces, but just personally for me, I don't think I need it.
Yeah, he's definitely a fun player to watch, though. I don't know if you agree with that. I like watching him a lot.
Yeah, I like watching him as well.
Solo Diaz, he's got your back, Chris. He says love Gorgie Jeng tonight.
Why is that having my back?
Because you love Gorgie Jeng. Well, you don't like Jeng in DFS, but you love Gorgie as a player.
I do. That's news to me, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine with him. Jakob Poeltl's still in front of him, so I don't feel great about it. But yeah, I'm fine there if you land on him as the last piece.
No, I just say that about Jen because I just remember before you always used to play him in DFS.
Yeah, on Minnesota when Cat was out, he was really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. Then it says any news on Biombo's crushed dome from Westbrook's dunk last night, Chris?
Yeah, that was a very nice dunk.
Yeah, could we load that one up?
We can, I guess. I don't know. You want to look it up?
If you have the streamable, we can do it. Send the link in the Discord. We can open it up at the end. But yeah, that was a nice one for sure. Poor Bismack though. But let's finish the slate. We have 2 more games to go through. So next up, Chicago Bulls, Phoenix Suns. Chicago side, we got Kobe White questionable, Zach LaVine questionable, Garrett Temple doubtful. Projected starters Tom Satoransky, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Thad Young, and Nikola Vucevic. It's just weird to see Vucevic not on the Magic, so that's kind of strange. Still, anybody here that you like, Chris? I think 2 games now we've seen Vooch and LaVine play. What do you think the situation fantasy-wise looks for these two? Is it more of like a play one when the other's out, take advantage of a price tag situation?
Yeah, probably. And today, I always say it against the Suns. They play slow. They play very well defensively. So I don't have interest in any of the Bulls guys here. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's necessary on this slate.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ugly game log for Zach LaVine, actually, if you look at it the last couple of games.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. Do you think he's one of those guys trending down in price? Could this be a good buy low moment? I know there's the new big piece of Vucevic there, but do you think this is a good buy low moment for LaVine or not really just because terrible matchup? I mean, like he's a solid player, so I feel like solid players could always go for a big game in any matchup. But yeah, what do you think of LaVine? Like, could he have a big game against Phoenix today?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could. We've seen the upside that he has all season long. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's 8-2 on DK, so can't do that. But like you said on FanDuel, 7-2. That's a very low price tag. I think it's one of the lowest we've seen all season. Let me just check. Yeah, I think it's actually the lowest it's been all season. Actually, he was 7K 3rd game of the year against Golden State, and he went for 50. So, I mean, it's a really good spot here. Yeah, but I don't know. It's tough to do though.
Yeah, it seems like a interesting tournament one. If you're doing like 150 entries, maybe I'd put in like 20% LaVine, a bit more than the field, but I'm not sure. Something to think about. Let's see if we have any. I think we have some questions. David Cree is asking, what if LaVine sits, Chris?
Yeah, if LaVine sits, then we could play Vooch. Probably play someone like Kobe White, who would probably end up starting. But like at the same time, we have these other places where we already have guys sitting. Lowry for Toronto, Mitchell for Utah, obviously. So I mean, those situations I like much more. Better matchups than Phoenix here, who's pretty tough defensively.
And it's not like the other teams with guys sitting. It's not like it's priced accordingly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like it's not like this news just because it came out more recently will be better than news that we've had for a while. So you got to keep that in mind. But yeah, Phoenix side, we got Nader, doubtful tag, Frank Kaminsky, questionable. Projected starters, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Bridges, Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, we saw Ayton was it Hoops lineup over on DK yesterday. Had a pretty good game, 36. I think we sometimes like to target bigs against Chicago, but I think that's target anyone against Chicago. But you say the Suns play a little slow. Anything we can take advantage here, Chris?
I mean, Ayton, he had the pretty good game yesterday. I think he had like I don't remember exactly what he went for, but he had a good game. But yeah, we don't need to target Chicago with bigs anymore, I don't think. The price tag here is decent for him, 7K on FanDuel, 6.6 on DK. So I like the DraftKings price tag more. But I'm not really landing here. I don't think we need to. Like I said earlier, we have a ton of centers that I just prefer much more. So for me, I'm not going to play anyone here.
Yeah. Let's get into the last game. Got a question already about Drummond from McKinnon. He's asking about Drummond, Chris, but we're just getting into that game here. We could do the Lakers first, since I'm excited for Drummond as well. So over there we have Drummond. He is probable, but I think we've had Frank Vogel already say he's starting for them. Is that pretty much confirmed, Chris?
Yeah, I think he's starting for them.
Yep. And then we have Matthews in for them as well. Projected starters: Dennis Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Markieff Morris, and Drummond. Happy I can finally say Drummond is starting again. Love to see it, but it's a huge price discrepancy between FanDuel and DraftKings, almost 3K actually. 7.8 on DK, 5.2 on FanDuel. What do you think of Drummond, Chris, on this Lakers squad, new situation here? A little bit more interesting as well because there's no AD or LeBron, so seems like he can get his a little bit easier right now. Yeah, what do you make of this new situation for Drummond and the Lakers?
Yeah, so he's the only guy I'm interested in on the Lakers. 5.2 on FanDuel is a very cheap price tag. The only concern is, Harrell is still there. I don't think they're going to play them together. So I'm not sure how many minutes he's going to get, but I would probably guess like 24, 28, somewhere in that range. Like I said, I don't think they're going to play them together. So, the minutes upside is what concerns me. But yeah, that price tag is super cheap. Like, very good cash game play at that price tag. Yeah, so I definitely don't mind playing him. I like him a lot for sure on FanDuel here. But yeah, like I said, he's the only Laker that I have interest in this matchup. And at the same time, like it's a tough matchup for Drummond. I could easily see him get into early foul trouble with Giannis. So, the price tag on FanDuel is super good. You're probably not going to see him that cheap again all year. But yeah, at the same time, it's not like a free square.
Could we also see the other situation, Chris? Harrell getting in early foul trouble with Giannis, and then Drummond getting more time because of that. Could it go either way there?
I don't think so, because Harrell comes off the bench. He'll probably come in at like the 3-minute mark, 4-minute mark, and then if he picks up 2 fouls, he's still going to play until the end of his rotation. Okay. It's not like they're going to pull him early for 2 fouls.
Yeah. And then on DraftKings, Chris, Drummond 7.8. That seems a little high, especially with the projection we have here. But just in terms of, let's just speculate a bit. In terms of upside, what could you see Drummond going for? Is it largely dependent on his minutes? Like if he goes for 30 minutes, is that primarily foul trouble, or do you think there's other factors aside from fouls that could limit his minutes here?
Yeah, it's mostly Harrell. That's the main concern, because I don't think they're going to play them together. I don't think Drummond's playing 30 minutes. That would mean Harrell's playing 18 minutes. I don't see that happening at all. I think it'll probably be more of a split, like 24-24, but we'll have to wait and see.
Which is what he was doing with Jarrett Allen for a while, right? He was still splitting, and I think we saw games where he sometimes got like, I don't remember, like 100%, but I think sometimes he went for like 50, 45. Some nights he went for like 20, 18. So it was all over the place. But even with those limited minutes with Jarrett Allen, I think he could still get you like 40, 45, 40 plus points, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't splitting it down the middle with Jarrett Allen. He was still playing more than Allen. He was clearly the main guy there, but I don't know how they'll handle it here. It's definitely a tricky situation. Like on DK, you don't have to play it at all. Price tag is just way too high. FanDuel is where you can play him, just because he's priced as if he plays 24 minutes, he'll probably get you 33, 35 fantasy points, and that's super, super effective for that price tag. So definitely an interesting play today. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how the minutes go.
Yeah, excited to see that. Milwaukee side, we got PJ Tucker out, Bobby Portis, and Kruiks all out. Projected starters: Drew Holiday, DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brooke Lopez. What do you make of the Bucks here, Chris, going up against the Lakers? What is the spread supposed to be? Is this a close game or not so much?
It's 8.5 favoring the Bucks, but yeah, I don't want to play anyone here. I don't love the matchup against the Lakers, who play pretty slow now. You can always play Giannis, but if I'm playing a low-owned stud, I prefer Luka. I don't want to play Drew. I don't want to play Middleton. So, not too much here for me.
Okay. Let's get into our 3 key plays. Start it off with our overall play of the day, safest play in your eyes today, cash tournaments, every format, just your favorite play. On FanDuel first, Chris, who's your guy there?
FanDuel first. I'll go with James Harden up top. I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay. And then value play up next, helps you save some money, pay up for the studs. Who do you have there? Is it a Utah guy?
Yeah, I'll go with Jordan Clarkson just because he's the cheaper out of him and Conley.
Okay. And then tournaments, who do you have?
Tournaments, give me Jeremy Grant for 6.6K against the Blazers.
Okay. Give me some Chris Boucher for me. I'm just going to put him in here. Chris Boucher for me. DraftKings, same stuff there, Chris. First up, overall play of the day, cash tournaments, safest play, best play in your eyes today. Is it also Harden?
Yeah, I'll go with Harden here as well.
Yeah, you love Harden. Value play, is it another Jazz guy here on DK?
Yeah, we can go with Clarkson here as well, just because he's the cheaper out of the two between him and Conley. So, I'll go Clarkson.
Okay, got it. And then tournaments, tournament play of the day, who do you have?
I don't want to say Grant here. I kind of want to go with another Piston. I'll go with Hamidou Diallo here on DK for 4.6K.
Okay, I'm going to run it back again. Chris Boucher, love the guy. Love the ownership. Love the price tag. Love the upside. So Chris Boucher for me. Moses Brown, he's a skinny guy, right? He's not like built.
He has the Clarkson build.
Yeah, so I think Boucher. Oh, and if they had Pokashevsky as well, it'd be like a perfect game for Boucher. He matches up so well here. I feel like I love Boucher tonight for sure. Let's go over the cores. FanDuel first. So you have Harden, Siakam, VanVleet, Conley, and Clarkson. Harden, you just love Harden, Siakam, VanVleet. No Lowry. Utah guys, no Mitchell there. Is that about it or anything else there?
So no Mitchell. That's the big thing there. That's why I like all those guys. And then no Lowry for the Raptors. And then Harden, just a pretty easy spend up with this value that we have.
Yep. Which ones do you want to go over?
We could take a look at the first two. It's just a 1v1. Like I said, I don't want to play Harden here. I don't want to play Drummond here. I feel much safer with Robert Williams for 900 more, maybe 1,100 more.
You're lucky because we had Drummond earlier in the Opto. That's what I was seeing. I was excited for that.
Yeah, so it's just a 1v1 here. Holiday versus Finney Smith. Was kind of talking about it earlier. Just feel a little safer with Justin Holiday here. If you want to play Dorian Finney-Smith instead, I see no problems with it. I wouldn't be surprised if he beats out Justin Holiday. It's the last piece. I think everyone else here is pretty obvious. Everyone else is going to be very chalky on this slate. Maybe other than Robert Williams, maybe Drummond will be more popular in cash games. But yeah, I like the Justin Holiday side here.
Okay. Some injury updates, Chris. We got Jahlil Okafor. I guess he's out. Shamet out today, ruled out. Lamb questionable, same thing there. McDermott now probable. Nader out, and Kaminsky out.
Yeah, so nothing there that changes anything for me.
Yep. Let's go over DK cores. Probably similar situation. Yeah, Harden, Raptors, and the Jazz. I guess you already went over these plays on FanDuel, why you like them, so you can just hit build Let's see which ones you like.
Yeah, so pretty much a similar core there. So like you said, you can see who else I like. I think we can look at the first two teams here. Yeah, so we have Harden here, core, Royce O'Neal, 4-2. Pretty good last piece here without Donovan Mitchell. So I like that. Siakam, core, Conley, Clarkson, core. And then we have a 3v3, V, OG, and Roby versus Van Vliet, Josh Hall, and Chris Boucher. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, this is pretty tough because we have to decide between Van Vliet and OG. I like the Raptors a lot today. The second side gives us two Raptors with Boucher alongside Van Vliet. First side gives us a bit more safety with Roby and Svi instead of Josh Hall, who's not a great point per minute guy. So it's definitely a pretty close 3v3 here. I think in tournaments I would go with the second side. I like the upside of Boucher. I think Josh Hall could have some upside as well. I don't think he's going to be too high owned. But I think in cash games, I like the safety of the first side. We get Roby, we get OG, we get Svi, who's been starting. So I like the safety of all three of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. I like this Boucher one because it's Boucher, but it seems a bit safer with the first one, like you said. Anything else you want to go over? Should we quickly go over the single game slate for... who is it? Who always asks for it? Layden. Layden always asks for it.
World King.
And World King. Don't they both? Both of them do.
I don't know about Leighton. I think he's a subscriber.
Got it. Yeah, I'll just go over this Bucks game here, Lakers game. I feel like that's going to be the bigger one. So it just seems like it's Giannis at the MVP. Always super chalky in these showdowns. I feel like you get sneaky with where you place Drummond. I feel like Drummond or Harrell could be the sneaky ones here today. Either of those two, actually, because I'm not seeing much Harrell myself here, if any. And then most of Drummond seems to be in the utility. So, yeah, I feel like Drummond or Harrell could be the sneaky one today. I'm not sure. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Drummond's going to be... What's his price? I think he's going to be very popular here. Probably around, I don't know, 8K, 9K, 11K. Wow. So, yeah, I obviously wouldn't play him over Giannis, but I could easily play him instead of Middleton and Drew. Like, you can put him at star there at 1.5x. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he beats out those two guys. There's no chance he's going to beat Giannis here, but I definitely think you can put him at 1.5x. I do like that play.
Yeah, seems like that one could be a little sneakier, not as chalky. But yeah, anything else you want to go over, Chris, before we wrap it up here?
No, I think we're good.
Oh, we got, yeah, it's Layden. Layden says it's all about the late slate. He loves the late slate.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good then. Any news that we're gonna have to look out for, Chris, leading up to lock, or is it more throughout the night?
Let me see. I don't think there's anything because we got the Lowry news. We got Mitchell last night. John Wall is questionable. I think that's the biggest news. Zach LaVine, I don't think that news matters too much just because that's the late game and we have a lot of interest in the early games. If you want to backload and wait for that news, I think that's viable. But I think John Wall, questionable, is the biggest news here tonight.
Any narratives, Chris? I know we have Conley going up against the Grizzlies. Anything else?
Let me see here.
Layton says Plumlee revenge.
Plumlee, I like Clarkson against Cleveland. Played 200 or 140 games there. I think, what day is it? Is it the 29th?
31st.
Yeah, so actually we have no narratives today.
Well, what about didn't Conley play for the Grizzlies?
Yeah, we have, I guess my narrative source is not updating. So yeah, Clarkson is not playing the Cavs today. He's playing the Grizzlies as well. So yeah, my narrative source is failing me. I'm nothing without my sources.
That's not true. I'm sure you could prepare some narratives if you were given more time. I mean, I pulled out the The Conley one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I think the Conley one's the biggest one today. The best one we had recently was definitely the Corey Joe one. A few guys were laughing at us, mainly in Justin, but that one was awesome. That was a great narrative. We really got into depth, a lot of detail about why it was a good narrative play. We had so many layers to that one too. So I love that one. Hopefully we'll find a good one, hidden gem again soon. Let's see. Austin says players per team worked great last night. By the way, yeah, we did announce it in the Discord. If you didn't see that, we do have it here. I think yesterday was the first day we had it up. Is that correct, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be right now. I think you can slide it like past what you're allowed to for certain slates. So we're gonna fix that because we do know the correct number of like minimums. And sorry, I guess it's more maximums of players you can have per team, depending on the slate. So because the optimizer has the correct number there, so we'll update that so all of the different slate types will match up to the correct number. Because I think you said you can't have more than four right now, right? So but you can do 5 here. So we will update that for all the slates. But it's good to hear that it's working. If you guys have any feedback on it, drop something in the Discord. Yeah, what do you think of any teams you might use this on today, Chris, for tournaments? Strictly tournaments.
Raptors maybe. I don't know. Like it's not a feature I use in NBA. Like that's the same as stacking. The only reason you would use it here is to limit. If you want to limit someone, I don't know. Maybe the Thunder. If you don't trust them, you can limit them.
Well, I mean,
guess.
You could also use it if you just want to skip the first game. Super easy.
Yeah. So exactly, just limiting. Yeah. If you want to backload, wait for like the 5 p.m. set of games or whatever time zone you're in, 8 p.m. set of games. Maybe you want to just backload until the very end of the night. Only play the last 2 games. I mean, you could do that. That definitely gets you different.
Yeah. Let's see. Harden Revenge, Chris.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. How do we miss that one?
I guess we're just used to. I mean, I guess we've had like the Harden trade already happened, then we had the trade deadline, so it's like old news kind of now.
Yeah.
It's not like the latest batch of trades because we just had like a fresh batch of trades. We just had like Drummond as well. So there's like a lot of fresh stuff. So maybe that's why. But yeah, obviously Harden, it's a good one. Is that his second or third time playing there? I think once they played away, once at home, like him playing back at Houston. This is the third one?
No, it's the second game. So Brooklyn's East.
Oh, that Houston's... was Westbrook and Wall.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. That's probably why. Let's see. Austin. Oh yeah, we have this one too, Chris. We have the other narrative that we missed, the plane. The Utah Jazz plane.
Yeah, I mean Mitchell's out for that reason. So we got the news from that one.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
He's like spending time with his family?
He's out for personal reasons.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, Lane says Conley, Harden, and Plumlee. Austin says, yeah, that's all. I do it to limit to 3 or less per team. Should we add a shortcut here, Chris? So you could like, you know how we have it for the team stacking, I think? Should we...
Well, I mean, I don't think so because like most teams, you're not going to get 3. Like it's only on certain slates that you'll get more than 3 people. Like today's one, and there's only 2 teams that you would get more than 3, like the Raptors and Jazz. So I don't think you need a global one.
Okay. It's actually good that we stalled a bit, Chris. We have none out today. Does that matter a lot?
No, not really. Just because Dragic is playing. They have Gabe Vincent playing. So it doesn't matter too much in this game.
Okay. And then last thing quickly, request from Royal King, go over this single game as well. Sacramento, San Antonio. I feel like if you go DeMar and he has one of his ceiling games, you'll win. Like if you lock in DeMar and you're in a 20 entry tournament, and you have 20 different lineups with DeMar at MVP, and he goes for a ceiling game, you'll probably win. But I mean, other than that, what do you see here, Chris? What are some options?
Yeah, so I mean, San Antonio slates, I avoid them like the plague. So I would definitely not play this one. So yeah, I don't know. I have no feel on the Spurs. They do what they want. Sometimes they play a bunch of Derek White. Sometimes they play a bunch of DeJounte Murray. So I have no idea. But I do like De'Aaron Fox a lot. I like Rashawn Holmes on the Kings side. Don't mind Harrison Barnes either. Buddy Hield, Halliburton. So on the Kings side, I think that's where I just feel safer. But obviously, you need to play some Spurs if you're playing the single game.
Yep. We got Dembuya out, Chris, as well. Vincent is in, and then Detroit as well, we have Wayne Ellington out.
Yeah, so all that is as expected. All those guys were either doubtful before or out.
Got it. Okay, let's wrap it up then. So yeah, if you are new here, guys, you haven't tried out our optimizer, we've been using it throughout the show, so it's a good demo. We use it every day throughout the show to go over the slate. We have our own projections, fantasy point projections, ownership projections for all the main sports, fantasy projections for all the sports, FanDuel, DraftKings, each sport that we have all the different slates for them as well. So you can get all of that at our website, dfscrunch.com, and you can get it all for free for 3 days if you're a new member. First 3 days are completely free. You get access to everything during that trial, including our Discord here. So Discord, you can talk strategy, ask for help, ask for questions outside the show. So you also get that, all that for free. So first 3 days are free. You can cancel anytime before then, won't be charged at all. So I do recommend anyone here who hasn't tried it yet to get that free trial set up. And if you have no intent, just cancel after, but do try it out. Highly recommend and encourage you to do that. It's a lot of fun, great community as well, and a lot of people do very well. So yeah, definitely try it out. And then YouTube wise, guys, if you enjoyed the content here, we appreciate the thumbs up, helps us grow. So if you can hit that thumbs up button before you leave, we would appreciate that a lot. And then last thing, make sure you're subscribed as well with the bell button and the notifications all clicked, just so you can get notified when we go live, so you can see it on your feed as well. But we do the same format here every single day, 2.5 hours before main slate, like clockwork. So that's a good way to keep up with that. And I think that's it, guys. We'll be in the Discord now. So if you have more questions, come hang out there. And see you guys all tomorrow. Good luck tonight, guys, and thanks for tuning in.